Gold completing the line. Comes up here. Double Spice 370. The light appears. They're set. Away racing from wide out. Warm and Fuzzy, first of them to leave. Pace coming though from Double Spice, Critical Altitude. Warm and Fuzzy though accelerates, comes over now, settles in front of Double Spice, Critical Altitude shortly after the start. Then Savage One, 3 deep momentarily, pushing up above the peg on the inside of Don's Legacy. The speed slows and above the peg, just inclined to throw its head around a little over on the inside. 2 lengths further back, First Law, Roll Gold, Worth a Risk, and last of all is Flicker's Chance. They went past the 600. The leader is Warm and Fuzzy, a length and a half on the well-tried favourite Double Spice. The speed now goes up a level. Critical Altitude down on the inside, wanted to drop the bit there, and she's being really roused up, followed by Savage One above the peg, followed further back behind them First Law, Don's Legacy, Roll Gold, Worth a Risk, and Flicker's Chance. It's Warm and Fuzzy though. It balanced up, squared up for the judge at the 250. Double Spice wanted to lay in across its heels. Carberry lets above the peg go and dashes up very smartly, goes to the lead now, above the peg, hits the front from Warm and Fuzzy, Savage One, and above the peg, another winner for the Miller stable. Carberry's on fire as well. That's a treble for them. Beat Savage One, Warm and Fuzzy. Behind them, First Law and Critical Altitude. Next home, Double Spice weakening, followed by Roll Gold, Worth a Risk, and Flicker's Chance. And the last of them home is Don's Legacy. Above the peg. Well, it certainly continues a fabulous run here this afternoon. Simon Miller's stable. That's 3, and included in the 3, a training trifecta. Pat Carberry, well, he continues to sweep all before him and boots the treble home, beating Savage One, Warm and Fuzzy. It's 9, 6 and 3, 9, 6 and 3. And First Law in 4th place in front of Critical Altitude in 1:10.06. So they looked as though they were going along at a reasonably controlled pace through the mid part. Warm and Fuzzy had to work for the front. It's been a very good performance to hold 3rd. 1:10.06. It's been a sharp gallop set up for above the peg, who was back there and let go with a real turn of acceleration. 34.62. When Carberry let above the peg down, it just exploded, putting pay to them, winning by a length. The short head, 2nd and 3rd. And talking about great runs, certainly the McCrosties are having exactly that. Part owners of above the peg with Freddie Fairthorne Jr., Baz Civic and Simon Miller. And it's a Blackfriars Sky Rumba 3-year-old that's now won 3 out of 7 and goes back to back. Second placing going the way of number 6, Savage One by God Has Spoken from Futurism, Adam Durant, Clint Johnston Porter. And 3rd, number 3, Warm and Fuzzy, and I'm All the Talk. What a rumour, 4-year-old Taj Dyson, the rider for Ash Maley. 9.634 there, and the well-fancied Double Spice parked right over that pace. First outing for 48 days, and it looked as though it might have just needed that with the pressure that it had to absorb up there right on pace. The next event, race 7, the Eurythmic Stakes, over 2,200 metres, and there are no changes to come. Well, Brittany is down there in the yard. Kel Kinnamont's heading across there as well. Not quite sure whether the trainer's gone back to start or continue at least the celebrations. No, here he comes, right on cue, on a huge day for the stable. That's a treble, and they've swept all before them this afternoon. Let's go downstairs now. And here's Simon, he's with Britt.
He's been in 2 places today, and that is either right here in front of the winner's stand or in the winner's bar. You barely had to leave there today, Simon. What a wonderful day it has been. And hey, your mum's on course, which is lovely to see her over here in Perth.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, with the borders being lifted, Eastern Staters are allowed to come. So, yeah, it's amazing. So she's here for Mother's Day, and I'm sure she's not really here to see me. She's coming to see Olivia, but that's okay.
You decided to put on a show for her, of course. You bring up a treble, including a trifecta as well. What about this horse's performance above the peg? Wasn't it a lovely ride by Paddy, and just how it all unfolded on the corner?
It was a crazy ride, I suppose. it's not a surprise. I don't take the ride for granted, but it's not a surprise because that's what he's doing. And it's good that Fred's leading it in. It's his 70th birthday, so I've supplied 2 people with their 70th birthday today, and Fred's got his party tonight. So he's just, I'm proud of the horse because sometimes if you don't geld them quick enough, they can be proud geldings, like next couple of preps, and he's transitioned pretty good, and you can trust him at home with his gallops. He's always been a good galloper, but he's been inconsistent, and then his racing was inconsistent, and that's when you're a bull. And look, I understand what we're trying to do, but now he's a gelding, and he's consistent at home, and he takes that to the races. So it was no surprise to see him do that today, but just probably the ride, you know, is unbelievable.
Out of Sky Roomba, so that's obviously why you were trying to keep him a colt. Did it just get to the stage where you thought, no, you need to be gelded?
Yeah, he was. His mannerisms were hot and cold. Some days he'd be real colding, other days he'd be a gelding. But his work, some days he'd be on, some days not, and his races were the same. And it was frustrating because I'm sure if we had gelded him early, he would have been a Belmont Guineas, a Guineas horse. But at the same time, he's a half to a Group 1 winner. You've got to sort of keep the dream alive. But this time around now, we're always using this 1200 just to make sure we reset him before we went to a 1400. He was looking for that after his last one, but we just want to give him one more before we stepped out. And maybe he might be a Belmont Guineas horse, but he's still got a bit keen early in running today, so I'm not too sure what we'll do.
Well done on what has been an excellent day here today.
Thanks, Brittany. Mum probably thinks that this is the norm, just sitting up in the...
It is the norm for you, Simon. Only 5.5 behind Adam Durant now in the Trainers' Premiership. Do you keep an eye on that and think that would be something you'd very much like to do?
To be fair, I don't. And all I try and do is win more races than the previous year for myself and try and win more prize money than the previous year. They're my 2 goals. Oh, and I got one more. I like to pull the plunge off.
I'm sure you'll keep endeavouring to do that. Well done.
Thanks, Brittany.
There is Simon Miller. Over to Paddy Carberry.
Paddy Carberry, since this horse has come back as a gelding, you can do things now with him that you couldn't before. Last preparation, there's no way you would have settled like he did today.
Yeah, definitely. He still thinks sometimes he's a little bit of a colt and knows it all, but he's definitely come into our way of thinking. Definitely has been the makings of him. I think last start riding him off the speed, we got him to think about things a bit, and obviously he won. But today he bounced through that run really good, whereas last prep he wouldn't have handled a run at all. He'd sort of take the knock, but even going to the barriers today, he was just full of beans, and he settled well again today. It was a bit of slowed up a little bit mid-race and just sort of had to take hold of him a little bit. But he really let down good today, and he covered him really easy, and he actually got there a bit easy and pricked his ears. He wasn't sort of sure what to do, but wanted to duck in a little. But I think, you know, you'll find in 6 or so months' time he's going to be, you know, a really, really nice horse.
Is it time to test him at 1400 metres now as well?
Possibly. You know, I definitely reckon he will get up to a mile with time, but I don't think it's something that, you know, we should rush him into. But we'll leave that to the boss. I'm just one of the minions.
A treble for you today and Kalgoorlie tomorrow, so no riding. What do you do for Mother's Day?
Cook
flowers is a good start, chocolates.
Cook good food and eat some of it.
Congratulations, Paddy. Well done.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
There is Paddy Carberry, and of course we keep extending this reminder to anyone that has forgotten it is Mother's Day tomorrow. Simon Miller's delivered his mum the perfect gift. She's here in Perth from Melbourne, and he's trained 3 winners, including a trifecta today, and above the peg brings up the 3rd of those victors today. Of course, the half to Portland Sky, but they had to geld him, and clearly he's come back a nice horse this time in. Simon Miller, Paddy Carberry, they take out race number 6. Up next is our feature of the day. It is the Eurythmic Stakes.